published an article in Science where we mentioned, and I was one of them, where we mentioned that 8 people died in the Republic of Turkey, where you are president. 90 people suffered head traumas. 9 people lost their eyes, and thousands of people were gassed because they were protesting. And there were, every day, the violence is still ongoing in Turkey. 3 women are killed per day and 4 workers per day. Also, the government, or in the country which you're president of, has seen the event in Roboski, where 34 people were killed, 17 of them children. And none of these events have been taken into account. You live in Ankara, in Çankaya, and close to Çankaya there is a district called Kızılay, where a person named Ethem Sarısülük was killed. So there's still bloodshed in your hands, and how can you talk about democracy to us? Aren't you ashamed of speaking of democracy? How can you sleep safely and tightly and happily at night? Because a boy named Berkin Elvan, 14 years old, was killed, and your prime minister is still not accepting this. The president responds, you can ask these questions, but of course there has to be a certain way in which these questions have to be asked properly. Gentleman replied by saying that I would be beaten if I were asking these questions at another location in this way. Now you have said to me some words about what happened last year, but I don't know if you followed everything that has happened during Gezi events, and I don't know whether you followed them with a fully open mind, because there are quite a number of things which you say which are quite wrong. First of all, let me say that as president, after the events in Gezi, when I was inaugurating the Turkish Parliament, I mentioned those people who died during the Gezi events by expressing my condolences to them.
Önce söylediğin şeylerde tabii çok doğru olmayan sözler var. Her gün 3 tane kadın öldürülüyor derken bunlar 70 milyonluk ülkede maalesef olmaması gereken adi olaylar. Bu başka ülkelerde var. Bunların hepsini siyasi cinayetler gibi takdim ediyor. Bunlar doğru şeyler değil doğrusu. Bunu da önce bilmen gerekir.
Also, for example, you mentioned that every day 3 women are killed. These are things, of course, which should not happen in a country of 70 million. They do happen, but they are some murders, ordinary events, other ordinary crimes, in other words, not necessarily political murders. So I don't think that representing them in the way that you represent would be correctly expressing the political situation in Turkey.